So we're going to have a panel session, which is why we've got some chairs. And we're going to invite to join us Sarah Hanna from Westpac. Sarah, please come and have a seat. Michaela is also going to be on our panel. And a new person today, Melanie Flintoff, who is here at the table. Now, Sarah is with Westpac. You know, you've learnt a lot about Michaela because she shared with us. Melanie Flintoff runs Australian Fashion Labels. So we're going to run our panel session by first inviting everybody up and then talking briefly about knowing your customers and meeting your needs. How do you do it in your business? And what are some great tips for the people that are here? So, Sarah, I think we'll ask you to start and we'll talk about how you get to know your customers and meet your needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Is this on? Can you guys hear? No? Is it on now?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Hi everybody, my name's Sarah Hanna, as you know, and I'm from Westpac, one of the proud sponsors today. I'm memorable today because I'm the pregnant one, so nobody will forget me, I hope, but hopefully I can add some value as well. Coming from the finance industry, especially in a Big Four bank, we all offer about the same, we all offer about the same products and services, but the thing that we do different is know our customers. So I've written a few little notes here. Okay, so as I said, the way that we differentiate is by the relationships that we have with our customers. And for me, I think... Is this okay? It's not squeaky? Oh. Okay. I think that the key is knowing what's important to the customer, but not just from a business point of view, but also from a personal point of view. And Michaela, you basically covered, in your networking stuff, that's what we do day in, day out. Yeah? The other thing that I think is communication, knowing how people like to be communicated with, how often, etc. like that. And the goal that I have when I'm building relationships with people is that they become advocates for my bank and me. Okay? That's basically what I do. Do you want to... All right, we'll pass on to Melanie and then we'll go from there. It's on her family.
So Melanie, because we don't know about your business, could you just preface your conversations by telling us what you do and then helping us understand how you work with your customers?
Yes. My name's Melanie Flintoft. I own a company called Australian Fashion Labels, which has 3 women's fashion brands. We are a design house, designing to wholesale our products globally. I'll tell you a little bit more about that when I have my speech, but essentially we sell to a boutique style of business, women's wear, sort of 16 to 25-year-old is our demographic, fast fashion, on trend. It's hard for us sometimes to get enough sort of information back from our clients because we use a different way of selling. We use a distribution network, so they are sort of like the middleman. We give them our collection, they sell it, and then the salespeople will then take the orders from the customer directly, and then we get a bulk order. So I don't get to speak to my customers directly very often, so I have to kind of work, and that's quite a private thing, sort of like protecting their business. So it is quite difficult, but I do know my market and I research it often, like every day. So what I do, that's my job as the design director for the business. So I through Facebook is an excellent way for me to connect with my customers. That's my retailers, but the girl on the street, to sort of understand the customer that way, we have a lot of videos. Bloggers have become a major part of what we do. So we gift bloggers and try and get feedback from that on the response that they get from what they're wearing. It's a lot of research actually to get that connection to our customer. We constantly research on other bloggers and see what they're wearing. It is quite difficult, but there are lots of avenues for us to try and do that.
I think the difference between Melanie's business and mine is that I get to meet with my people face to face all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's when I can get to know them personally, get to know that they've got grandchildren that are the most important thing in their world, or that they don't, have that side necessarily, and they just want to focus on a business relationship. They only like to be communicated with via email, but they want to be communicated with weekly with what rates are doing, etc. And so I think that's the lucky thing for me. I can be one-on-one, or can tailor the communication per customer, whereas you've got like a whole
network of women in the same.
And we change our minds a lot. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Hey Melanie, nice to see you again. Melanie's, if anyone remembers the very first edition of Adelaide Hills magazine, had the black and white striped dress. It's one of her dresses on the cover, yes. And it's my favourite cover because it was the first and it had Melanie's dress on it. I loved it.
She's somehow networking up here.
No, I'm making new friends. Right, well, knowing your customers, that all comes back to what I was talking about before, really. But it is hard. I think currently in my business, if we just look at direct customers, there would be 400 or 500 at any one time. And then go into my readers, that could be anything up to 40,000 at any one time. So, and then, 1,000 retailers and lots of different people. So I get to do some of what you do with meeting in real life my customers, and then I have to deal with a lot of the stuff Melanie has to deal with, in that I don't know where they are half the time. So it's about figuring out where that is, and comes with that a lot of research. And social media has definitely played a part in connecting with our readers and our retailers in other parts of the world and Australia, which is fantastic. And we love hearing their feedback, and they get to bitch and moan as well, which is always nice. And you can respond to that. For me, our immediate clients and customers, one of the things that I get back to as well is about having fun. And I don't get to meet all of our customers. Like I said, how many events can one chick go to in a month? And you don't want to make them feel that they're any less important, that you chose a different event over theirs. And that is really hard, because customers, as part of the client business relationship, is that you value what they do in business, but it doesn't necessarily mean that because you can't attend their launch or their function, or you haven't said hello to them in the supermarket because your 5-year-old was having a tanty over a packet of Smarties and you didn't recognise them with their baseball hat on, doesn't mean that you don't love them any less. It's just that there's other things going on in your life, and you would like to think you could make that customer feel like they're the only person in the world, but it is very difficult when you've got so many to contend with on a regular basis. So one of the things that we do in our business is we like to have a quarterly party. So we have launched every magazine and invite all our marketing clients and some of our retailers and our advertisers, and we also run competitions where our readers can come with those events as well. And we always make them very different. So it's not just a dry networking event, or, it's very different. We've done everything from going to a car race in a paddock with a bonfire to having a hip-hop performance in a childcare centre, to being down at the Hilton and getting to taste some fantastic food. We do different things at different times of the day. Some launches are at 8 o'clock in the morning, some are at Monday nights at 6, some of them are on Friday nights, some of them are during the day. So we just try and fit in with what, so we get to meet our different clients, and so that I can connect with them that way. Yeah, so do you, you've got clients all over the world as well, so.
Thinking about what you were saying, we're trying to work it out at the moment, because we'd love to put on a fashion event wherever we can, but it's easy for us to do it locally, but I think Adelaide's probably only 10% of our market these days, and now we need to think globally, and how to create an event globally like that. We're still trying to master it. I don't really know where we're going to go with that, but we will work it out. We're working on smaller sort of things with our distributors that they'll put on smaller parties, But our demographic is so large and that we're quite commercial, so to attract that many people, it's working with social media, so I guess to put on parties would be great. I'd love to, but that's a lot bigger. Yeah.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you get to leverage like the Sydney Fashion Week and things like that?
Yeah, Sydney Fashion Week is really a more luxury event with it's a different sort of demographic to what we're in, but the L'Oreal Melbourne Fashion Week is perfect for us, and it's really more dedicated to the public rather than the press and buyers. So it's more accessible for people, and I love that event. I think it's really a lot more fun. Yeah, so that's a good one.
Next question, are you going to do a maternity range?
You can see how network is governed by one's immediate needs there, Sarah.
It's a really funny question because I've got 2 children. I've got a 12-year-old son and a 2-year-old son. And each time I've been pregnant, I'm saying to Mum, oh, we should do kids wear, we should do kids wear, so cute. And then she's like, you're not in that market. No.